Thousands of letters, tax documents, and prescription drugs were dumped in St. Louis. But the Postal Service official says this is the first he has heard about it. Watch what happens when the senator asks the one question government agencies hate most. What have you done about it?
This is North St. Louis, Missouri. This is April 29th of this year. This is right around North Taylor Avenue. This is a pile of mail. Thousands of pieces of mail. Tax documents, prescription drugs, bills, utility communications from companies, thousands and thousands of documents. As you might imagine, the residents of St. Louis, when this was discovered on April 29th, were absolutely outraged, not least because the mail has been slow and not delivered and missing targets for years now. And here we have thousands of pieces of mail. Some of the postmarks here, this wasn't going across the country. You have letters here that were just going across town that had been dumped in this pile. Now, the Postal Service promised the public and me, when this was discovered, that there'd be a full accounting of this. We would find out what happened, and we'd have a full and total investigation and complete transparency. And since that time, I've heard nothing. That was April. I've heard nothing. What's the answer?
My answer would be, when you put up that in front of me, I'm outraged.
What have you done about it?
And I think everybody in the Postal Service that bleeds postal blue would be outraged.
Well, but what have you done about it? That was months ago. What have you done since then?
Since this is the first time I've heard about it?
How is this possibly the first time you've heard about it since I've written to you? Members of the delegation have written to you. Listen, I get thousands of pieces of mail a week about the post office. People's mail not being delivered. Here it is in a pile. And you're telling me this is the first time you've heard about it?
It's the first time I've heard about it.
That exchange was not really about one pile of missing mail. It was about what happens when government failure becomes so normal that nobody at the top seems responsible. Now, to be fair, a senior official cannot personally read every complaint that reaches the Postal Service. But this was not somebody's birthday card arriving 2 days late. These were thousands of pieces of mail, including tax documents, bills, and prescription drugs dumped in one location. And elected officials had already written asking for answers. Yet months later, the response was, "This is the first time I've heard about it." Apparently, first time I've heard about it is now the government's version of a tracking number. But here is the larger issue. Rank and file postal workers are not the enemy. Most work hard. The problem is a system where leadership can promise transparency, produce no public answers, and then act surprised when Congress brings the receipts. That is exactly why conservatives keep demanding accountability, not another committee, another memo, or another carefully worded apology. Was this an honest communication failure or proof that nobody is truly accountable at the Postal Service? Drop your take below and follow the headlines for the full exchange, not just the official explanation.